All right, everyone, it is that time of year again. I'm going to go through my entire K-pop collection. So this is the 2024 version. And yeah, I'm going to try and make this video no longer than half an hour. So I will not be going into detail for every single card, but as always, if you guys have any questions about any cards, what store they're from, where I got them, whatever, just leave a comment and I will try and get you the answer. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start with non-ATEEZ first because that's what I typically do. I always leave ATEEZ last. And we're going to start with my Collectbook sized things. So this is my Monday Collectbook. I stopped collecting Monday a while ago. So this has not been updated in, I don't know, like a year and a half, 2 years at this point. So I will not be going through this Collectbook. If you want to see what's in this Collectbook, go to my previous collection videos. But yes, I got this Collectbook off Etsy, and she has not changed in a very long time because I stopped collecting her, but I still keep her. So putting that to the side. So next we can go through my Woodz collection. So I think I started my Woodz collection this year, because it was after I saw him in concert. I kind of went on a bender and I was like, oh my god, I need to collect Woodz. So yeah, we'll go through my Woodz collection very quickly. This has obviously not changed since I started it because Woodz is in the military right now. And I obviously do not have every Woodz card because he has so many cards. I just bought a bunch of sets off of Mercari Japan. I love this Photocard. And yeah, I think that's, oh my gosh, I can't flip these pages. All right, and that is my Woodz collection. This I got from the concert. And did I get, how many did I get? No, yeah, this is just this one from the concert. Anyway, okay, so that's my Woodz Collectbook. This is my Taehyun Collectbook. So after I decided to drop my Yeonjun collection, I decided that I was still going to collect TXT. I moved to collecting Taehyun, and I don't have every single Taehyun card. I still have quite a few of his cards. But yeah, I do not fully collect TXT anymore. I am trying to move away from that, and I just collect what I want. So that is my Taehyun collection. And now I'm gonna move these to the side. Now this is my StayC J Collectbook. And I feel like it's easy. No, I'll do it this way. Her cards in the beginning eras, I think I have all of them. And then I started to just limit how many. I think here is where I started, yeah, not collecting everything. These are some Japanese cards. This was the most recent era. So yes, small collections. I like my small collections because they are not stressful. And that is how I like my collections to be, not stressful. So let's move on to my bigger non-ATEEZ binders. Okay, so if you watched my recent Collection Diaries video, you know that this has changed a lot. So in this binder, it now holds Oneus, Leedo specifically, and I do have all of his Korean album cards, a few Japanese cards, and some merch stuff. But like I talked about in my Collection Diaries video that I posted a few weeks ago, I think my collecting habits for this collection and Dreamcatcher and like my other collections, it's going to change. I don't know if I'm going to continue collecting for these groups. So that was all the Korean albums. And now this is Japanese cards. So yes, Leedo, I don't know if I will continue this collection. These are merch cards. And now we are getting into miscellaneous cards, starting with other boy group cards. So this is Key. We have some 2 PM cards in here. Baekhyun, Chanyeol, we have some only one of, and then these are the Yeonjun cards I decided to keep after I stopped collecting Yeonjun. And then some Minjae cards from Psychers. And these are some bigger inclusions. I actually bought a fuse tool recently, and I'm going to adjust these pages so I can get them in better. I'm very excited about it. So these are larger inclusions from the boy group stuff. Random bits and bobs. And we got some girl groups, which I think this is literally just Red Velvet. Oh, and then my Yuki cards I decided to keep after I stopped collecting Yuki. And then these are all Red Velvet, larger inclusions, which these are all Yeri. I got these from a friend. So yeah, hasn't changed. So yes, as I was saying, I don't know if I'm going to continue collecting Leedo, and I don't know if I'm going to continue collecting Dreamcatcher. As of right now, in my mind, I will not be collecting them anymore. And it's because I just want to focus on ATEEZ. And so this is my Dreamcatcher binder, and for now, this is how it will remain. So I have some larger inclusions in the front, and then we get into full sets. I did not back collect Dreamcatcher, so I started with the summer holiday album, and then the only one I back collected was this set. And I cannot for the life of me remember all of their album names. I know after summer holiday we started to get into the Apocalypse series, and then from the Apocalypse series we started to get into the this is still Apocalypse, I think. Oh, and then now we're getting to the villains, and then yeah, this is all from villains. This was a POB set, not album. All the previous cards were album cards. And then this was Virtuous. And then these are some random POBs and other random album cards I've gotten of the members. So this is my Dami page, because if you don't know, Dami is my bias in Dreamcatcher. And then we have Jiyu, Sua, Xion, Yohon, and Gahyun, all the random cards I've collected over the years. And then these are my full merch sets. I don't remember what all these, some of these are photo books. I think most of these are from like photo book merch releases. One might have been from A Season's Greetings. Yeah, I don't remember what all of these are from. Some of this might be from concerts. Honestly, cannot remember. This is from the recent concert. So yes, that's my Dreamcatcher collection, and she will stay like this for the foreseeable future for now. And then next, so besides ATEEZ, the only collection that I will be fully continuing is my Dosie Purple Kiss collection. I've decided that I still want to fully collect Dosie. So I collect all of her Korean album cards along with a few POBs to just help fill out the pages. So in the beginning it was just like 4 per era. So this was it was just 2, sorry. So this was Panzonia era. This was Zombie. This was also Zombie. So then we're getting into Mimim, whatever you want to say it. So these are POBs down here. So was only 2 cards for their first album, and then I started doing 4. Mimin, this is also Mimim, and this is Geeky Land. This is also Geeky Land. I had these mixed. So this is from Mimim, Geeky Land. These are all Geeky Land. Right? I think so. Hold on. I want to check. Yeah, okay, I was right. And then we get into Sweet Juice. So this is when I kind of started doing the 8 spreads for their comebacks. So this is Sweet Juice, and this is their regular albums, polka albums, and then some POBs. And then this is Festa. And one of the polka cards I have, but I just don't store them because it's a concept card and I wanted selfies, even though this is not a selfie, but it's there. So same, this is for BXX. So yeah, I have one polka card that's just in the album that I don't store in here. And then I do not have the current cards yet for Headway because they are with my Gome. And these are some larger inclusions. I don't really collect larger inclusions. I get them from my group order manager, but I don't have all of them from like previous eras. This stops after Sweet Juice, so yeah. I don't really focus on larger inclusions. And then nothing is back here. So yes, this is my full Dosie collection. So my focus is really just Korean album photo cards. And yeah, she is still a collection that I enjoy. And it is not really stressful for me because I have a group order manager, thankfully, that I really trust and I like. So yes, I will continue my Dosie Purple Kiss collection. Okay, so let's get into my ATEEZ collection. I feel like I did a little speed run through my other binders because my ATEEZ collection is my most expansive and thorough collection, and there's a lot. So I have 8 binders total for ATEEZ. I have 5 binders of just photo cards. I have 2 binders that are just larger inclusions, and then I have 1 collect book. So it is a lot. But I think this also gives you guys an idea of why I am deciding to scale back in my other collections. You know, this is why the collect book collections I have, so Taehyun, Jay, Woodz, those ones, like I keep them small because all my focus goes into ATEEZ, and I've just come to realize that I can't put the time, effort, or energy into those collections like I do with ATEEZ. And so that's why I've also decided that I'm probably for sure going to stop collecting Oneus, Leedo, and Dreamcatcher, because I just don't think I have the mental capability right now. And that's okay. We are allowed to change our collecting habits. No one should ever feel pressure about their collection, because it is what you want it to be. You spend your money on this, your collection should be what you want it to be. I always say this. I always get on my little soapbox and I say this to people, but yeah. So yeah, ATEEZ is where most of my focus goes, and I'm still going to put focus in Dosie as well because that collection still makes me happy. But yes, ATEEZ is my pride and joy. I love this collection. So with that being said, if you're new here, I collect HongSang, Yusan, and Wooyoung. They are my bias line, and I also collect some OT8 sets as well. But these 3, I collect all of their Korean album cards. I don't collect their Japanese cards fully. I am changing my collecting habits a little bit with that. And I collect select pre-order benefit cards and merch cards. So let's get into it. So this is my main binder. Also, if you're new here, with all of my binders, I never like opening them up just to see photo cards right away. I always like an introduction page of sorts. So most of the time I have some like fan art photo cards, or I'll have one of their like OT8 pictures in the beginning. Now we get into the photo cards. So I do have all of their Korean album photo cards, besides for Golden Hour Part 2, because obviously that is still ongoing. I'm still getting my cards. But everything before that, I have all of their album cards. So this is Treasure Series, episode 1 and 2. This is Wave Era, episode 3. These are MMT cards. God, I'm like losing my voice from talking so much. This is Wonderland Era, still Treasure Series. These are MMT cards. This is their anniversary album. Now we're getting to Epilogue. So this is Treasure Epilogue, Answer Era. And these guys, I think, are the, or is it these guys are the MMT cards? I think it might be these guys are the MMT cards. Honestly, I can't remember. But some are album cards, some are the MMT POBs. These don't go with this era, but I put them there because they used to be here. And then these are printouts. So these guys are printouts that I made, and these guys are printouts that I made to help fill out the cards, or the pages, because I don't like 6 patterns. So now we're getting into Fever series. So this is Fever Part 1, and we have the Thanks version and the Inception version. And then these are the diary cards, and then these are pre-order benefits. Now this is Fever Part 2. So this is the era in which I started collecting ATEEZ. So we have A Diary Z, that is a setup for all of my cards when they were still doing the A Diary Z album version, like setup. And then Fever Part 3 is still A Diary Z. And then it's also, they used to do like regular cards and limited cards. So the limited cards were just first press only. So yeah. And then this is Fever Epilogue. Again, at this time they were still doing A Diary Z versions. And now we're getting into Movement, and Movement is when they started to change things. So this is the beginning of the World series, and so here they were still, I think they were still doing A Diary Z, but they introduced digipacks. The bane of my existence, digipacks. And so we have A Diary Z, but then we have the digipack cards. And then this is also when they started working with Hello 82. So these are Hello 82 cards. These are IDs. I'm so glad they have not done IDs again because I hate IDs. Then this is Spin-Off. So this was like a single album. So it was a little bit more special. And this is when they started introducing polka albums / platform albums. Platform and polka albums are essentially the same thing. They're all digital albums. So these albums come with cards that have a QR code on the back, and you scan them into, you know, whatever app the company uses, and that's how you get the music. But yes, they had just one like album version and then 2 polka album versions. So these are the 2 polka versions. This is the album cards. And then they had blanket photo cards in every single polka album, so I collected OT8 for that. And now this is Outlaw, so this is The World episode 2. And so here they weren't labeling the cards as, I don't think they were labeling them as A and Z anymore. I think the albums were still A Diary Z, but they were also labeling the cards as like anyway, I can't remember what the cards themselves were called. I don't know if they were labeling them yet. But the albums at this point were still A Diary Z, but in the diary album, they were giving us unit photo cards. So I started to change up my layout more, and I was adding the digipack cards. These are digipack cards. I was adding those down here, and then I moved my OT8 cards over here because I wanted all the units. And then these are polka album cards. All of these are polka album cards. These are all polka album cards. These are, no, these are also polka album cards. These are POBs because I needed 3 more to help fill out the page. So those were all, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages of polka album cards. insane. What a time. Okay, so now this is William, dear old William. This is the finale for the World Series. We jokingly in my Discord server call William. Anyway, so this is when they stopped doing 3 cards per version and they started doing 2. So for a long time in the albums they were doing, basically since Fever Part 2, they had been doing 3 cards per album. But now we're going back to 2 cards, and this is when they were labeling them A and Z. So it's like card A, card Z, and then this is Digipack. That's the same. Is this Digipack? Yeah, this is the US Digipack, and then they had like the Korean version Digipack. I think these are polka cards because I want to like fill out the whole page. And now, yeah, these are the other polka cards, and these are pre-order benefits because again, I want to fill out the page. And so now we're getting into Golden Hour Part 1. And so this is when they decided that, well, KQ decided that they were going to do 8 different Digipack cards, the bane of my existence. So dispersed throughout these versions are the Digipack cards, and also this is when they stopped calling the albums A Diary Z. So we have for the first version, I think was Blue Hour, then we had Golden Hour, and then we had it was Blue, Golden, and I can't for the life of me remember. Future Aaron will put a pop-up here. But yeah, they stopped doing the A Diary Z, and that definitely throws me off. It throws me off a lot. But yeah, these are album cards interdispersed with Digipack cards, and then we also have the polka cards. So this is like continuing the Digipack album, and then we're getting into polka cards here. These are all polka cards, and they had a polka and platform version, I think, for Golden Hour Part 1. Yeah. But again, they're all just a polka album and a platform album. They're all just a digital album, but KQ released both versions. And then these are POBs to help fill out the page. Okay. And this is Work to Live. I forgot about Work to Live. They released this version later, and I hated it. I don't like, whenever I say shit like that, I hope you guys don't take it seriously. Like, I don't hate it. I just hate KQ and capitalism. Anyway, now we're getting into Golden Hour Part 2, which is not complete. But again, I have dispersed Digipack cards in between album cards. And what are these? Oh yeah, these versions are 2 Diary and 4. So they brought Diary back for this one. They didn't call it Diary in Golden Hour Part 1, right? I like actually genuinely can't remember. But whatever. So we got album cards, we got Digipack cards on the bottom, and then we go into polka album cards. And KQ did 3 different versions of polka albums this time, which I hate. Anyway, oh my god, that took so long. I need to get a move on now. So we're gonna hop right into my next binder. Okay, so we're going to stick with Bias Line, and this is my Bias Line POB binder. So I'm not going to go through every single POB because I simply do not remember all the stores. If you have a question about where a specific one came from, just leave a comment. But my POBs start from Fever Part 2 because that is when I started collecting ATEEZ. I didn't really go back too much. Like in my main album binder, I do have some of those MMT POBs, but I did not really collect those too thoroughly. I really just started collecting POBs more thoroughly like when I started collecting ATEEZ. So this is Fever Part 2. This is Season Songs. This is Fever Part 3. And then I get into Epilogue. That was Travel Package. And then I get into Movement. And then this is Spin-Off. Still Spin-Off. This is Japanese, I think for Limitless. And then we get into Outlaw. I have a lot for Outlaw. I try to control myself with pre-order benefits. It is difficult. I get it. It's difficult. But I try to contain myself. So now we're getting into, yeah, this is start of Will. This is all from Will still. I don't know, this is still from Will. Yeah, and then this is the beginning for Golden Hour Part 1. Yep. And then we start getting into my Golden Hour Part 2, which I don't have all of because those orders are still at my Korean address. So yeah, so those are my POBs, my bias line POBs. Okay, next bias line binder is my Japanese and merch binder. So I started collecting their Japanese cards around when Dreamers came out, so these are only the only cards I have from their earlier albums before Dreamers. Oh, and then this is A to Z, and so then I have Dreamers in here, and then this is Rocky, and then I started doing a lot more cards per album, and so I was attempting to collect all of them. That was Paradigm, this is Limitless, this is still Limitless, and then these are Not Okay, this is the not Okay, and then after that, when I realized how many they were releasing per, you know, comeback, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And so for their most recent one, for birthday, I just did one 9 pocket page, and that's what I'm going to do moving forward. And so these are merch cards, also bias line. We're still in bias line. This is from Sub K, Treasure photo book. I could not tell you. Some of these are summer photo book, Japanese stuff, season's greetings. That's all mixed in here. This is like concert merch, A Teeny Room. This is from Daikon, D-Icon, whatever it's called. This is from the most recent concert, Towards the Light. This is summer photo book. So that's that. And now we can start moving on to OT8. Okay, my OT8 binder is very full. These are all fan-made cards, by the way. All fan-made cards. So I think my first OT8 set was for Epilogue, Fever Epilogue. And then I kind of started collecting OT8 with Movement a lot. This is all Movement. I have a lot of them. I didn't need this many. Let me get into Spin-Off. And also some of these were from fan call attempts. It was a whole thing. This is still from Spin-Off. And then we get into Outlaw. I was refrained here, only 3. Well, and then actually 4, because I got one of them signed during send-off for the concert. Now we're getting into Williams sets. See, this is when I started. After Outlaw, I was like, or no, after Spin-Off, I was like, okay, I need to chill with the OT8 sets. So I started to hold myself back. So yeah, this is from Golden Hour Part 1. No, this is from William. This is Golden Hour Part 1. And then this is Golden Hour Part 2. That's it for now. And then these are merch OT8 sets. So this is from the first light tinny. We have Sub K. This is from the online concert. This is their first photo book. Season's greetings. Birthday merch. Wonderwall. Other season's greetings. Winter MD. Another online concert thing, I think. Or no, this is one of the DVD sets for Break the Wall. This is birthday merch. Fan kit. I think this is also a fan kit. This is another online concert. I don't know. This is season's greetings. Yeah, season's greetings. Concert merch. Fan kit. Yeah, this fan kit, this is fan meet merch. Yeah, fan meet merch. Summer photo book. DVD. Nacific. It's all Nacific, and that's it, yeah. Oh my god! Whew, okay, so this is probably my pride and joy. This is my HongSang binder. So if you don't know, Hongjoong and Yeosang are my alts, so they get a special binder separate from my Palestine binder. So here is where I keep most of my like quote unquote special cards. So broadcast cards, their unit cards, 18 zone cards, those type of things. And then I also have a lot of POBs and other merch cards in here as well. So that's that. So in the front is all of my unit cards. I have one more on the way to streaming event unit card. And then I have like group cards here as well. And then we get into my like broadcast cards and 18 zone cards. So these cards are especially special to me because these are ones that I honestly never went into my collection thinking I would ever have these cards. So they're very special to me. And there's still some on my wish list, but I'm not holding my breath. Oh, these are winners cards from one of the fan calls I won, 18 zone, fan meet cards. And then these are POBs. So when I first started my collection, I only collected Hongjoong and Yeosang, and then when I added Wooyoung in, I didn't get all of the same POBs. So these are just the Hongjoong and Yeosang POBs that I didn't also get Wooyoung for. So they don't fit in my Palestine POB binder. Hopefully that makes sense. So yes, that was from Favorite Part 2, Season Songs, Favorite Part 3. Oh, and then I also have Favorite Part 1 in here. It's Favorite Part 1. And then this is Favorite Part 1, and then we get into Favorite Part 2. Anyway, okay, so then we get into, Epilogue, Favorite Epilogue. I only have one from Movement. Outlaw, William, Golden Hour Part 1, and then some Golden Hour Part 2. And then these are merch cards. So I have one just Yeosang page, because these are extra Yeosang merch cards I had. And then we start getting into like Hongjoong and Yeosang. So this was like Wonderwall, Winter MD, Japanese magazines, POTS, summer photo book. I think these are summer photo book. These were from booth at one of the concerts. Some like Will merch, this is concert merch stuff, Pacific, ATEEZ stuff, a lot of ATEEZ stuff, birthday merch, more ATEEZ, yeah. And then these are some larger inclusions. This is Wonderwall, magazine stuff, Photoism. This is from the special vinyl for the vinyl day. What's it called? I forget. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then some concert stuff, and then Pacific. So yes, that is my HongSang binder. It is very special to me. I love it a lot. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, and this is another collect book, but this is my Jongho collect book. So Jongho is, I guess, the fourth member of my bias line, but I don't fully collect him because I think I would go insane if I collected 4 ATEEZ members. So some extra cards that I have here and there, I just keep. So yes, these are my these are my Jongho cards from over the years. And I don't have any in here yet from Golden Hour Part 2. Okay, so this is my larger inclusions, one of my larger inclusions binders. In here I just keep album postcards. It hasn't really changed much, so I'm just going to quickly flip through this. Okay, So as you can see, it's kind of a mix. The earlier albums I just have bias line and then any unit cards, and then I have all of their outlaw postcards in here, but then for Golden Hour Part 1 and for Part 2 I'm just doing bias line. So yeah, that's that. Okay, and then this is my merch larger inclusions, which honestly I don't think has changed at all since the last time I made a video. I can't remember. Actually I must have, because I must have put like fan kit stuff. I don't know. I still have a stack of larger inclusion stuff that I need to put away that I need to make a video for, but we're just gonna quickly go through this one as well. Okay, yeah, so that's it for that. So I kind of separate it. In the beginning is like fan kit and season's greeting stuff. Then we get into the photo book section, and then we get into like concert and like DVD merch. And then the last section is like random merch from like Wonderwall. Pacific was there. So just like other random merch items like that. So she's a big boy. Okay, so this feels like a very long video. Hopefully when I edit it, it won't be too long. Fingers crossed. But yes, this was my entire K-pop collection. I feel like I've said it a bajillion times already, but if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. And yeah, that was it. Here's to 2025. I feel like a lot of people always talk about like collection goals in these videos. Honestly, for me, it's collect less. I think I need to just scale back in every regard of my collection, because it's getting overwhelming. All of these binders is kind of overwhelming. I say that now, but knowing me, at least with ATEEZ specifically, I don't think I know what the word scale back means. I don't think that's in my vocabulary, to be honest. I always go overboard. I try not to. I try to set limits for myself of how much I will spend. I have a very, very thorough, intense spending spreadsheet that I do for K-pop spending, and that helps me stay in line, helps me, stay on budget. I definitely recommend that for everyone. Set yourself a budget for your spending habits. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the next year. So until then, I hope everyone has a happy new year, happy holidays all around, and I will see you next year. Bye.